Very good morning to you, dears. Let's discuss the question and answers from the poem Kitchen Rags, written by Vitala Chirapado. When you open your textbook at page number 12, you can see the comprehension questions, paragraph questions, and essay questions. So let's discuss the short answer questions first. ഏതാണ് ഫസ്റ്റ് ഷോർട്ട് ആൻസർ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ എന്താണ്? What does the word grime represent in the poem Kitchen Rags? Answer. The word grime means dirt ingrained on the surface of something. Here the grime is on the kitchen rag, which represents the dull existence of a married woman. Now the second question. What is meant by never allowed to rinse and dry? Answer. The speaker of the poem says that the kitchen rag is never allowed to rinse and dry. The words never allowed show the burdens that a patriarchal society forcefully places on a woman. Now the third question. How does the rag become rock hard? Answer. It is with the deposition of dirt layer by layer that the rag became rock hard. The rag is placed near the earth and is always engaged just as a woman is. Now we will move on to the fourth question. What is the word used by the poet to describe the bygone nature of the rag? Answer. The word used by the poet to describe the bygone nature of the rag is delicate. Kunyumol's frock was turned into a kitchen rag when a Kunyumol grew up and they could no longer use the frock. Now the fifth question. Whose frock was turned into a kitchen rag? Answer. Kunyumol's frock was turned into a kitchen rag when a Kunyumol grew up and could no longer use the frock. Now Kunyumol is in another kitchen after her marriage. Now let's read the sixth question. How does the poet remember Kunyumol? Answer. The poet remembers Kunyumol as a girl singing around the kitchen. Now Kunyumol is in another kitchen after her marriage. The seventh question. Where is Kunyumol now? നമ്മൾ ആൾറെഡി പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞു ബട്ടല്ല എന്താണ് ഷോർട്ട് ആൻസർ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ എഴുതുമ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ എപ്പോഴും എന്ത് ചെയ്യണം? വൺ സെന്റൻസ് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ടു എന്ന് അവിടെ ഉണ്ടാവും ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ പേപ്പറിൽ. ബട്ട് നമ്മൾ എന്ത് ചെയ്യണം? എപ്പോഴും അത് രണ്ട് സെന്റൻസ് തന്നെ ആക്കി വെക്കാൻ ശ്രമിക്കണം, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ മാർക്ക് പോകുന്നുള്ളതാണ്. പകുതി മാർക്കേ നമുക്ക് കിട്ടുള്ളൂ. സോ ദ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ എന്തായിരുന്നു? വേർ ഈസ് കുഞ്ഞുമോൾ നൗ? Now Kunyumol is in another kitchen after her marriage. The poet remembers Kunyumol as a girl singing around the kitchen. Now the eighth question. Not a hum these days. Explain the line. Answer. The speaker of the poem explains here how Kunyumol's singing gradually became a humming and finally became a silence. It shows the stages of a girl's life. Now the ninth question. Who is the one in a tiny frock? Answer. സോ ആരായിരുന്നു വൺ ഇൻ എ ടൈനി ഫ്രോക്ക്? നമ്മൾ പറഞ്ഞല്ലേ അത് കുഞ്ഞുമോളുടെ ഓർമ്മയാണ്. ബട്ട് അവിടെ വേറെ ഒരു ചാൻസും കൂടി ഉള്ളത്, കുഞ്ഞുമോളല്ലേ ഇപ്പോൾ ഗർഭിണിയാണെങ്കിൽ അല്ലെ, ഒരു കുഞ്ഞ് ജനിക്കുമ്പോൾ അല്ലെ, സോ കുട്ടിയിലൂടെ എന്ത് ചെയ്യും, ഒരു മദർ അല്ലെ സന്തോഷം കണ്ടെത്തും. സോ ആ രീതിയിലും വേണമെങ്കിൽ നമുക്കിതിനെ വ്യാഖ്യാനിക്കാം. സോ എന്താണ് ആൻസർ? The one in a tiny frock can be the memories of her childhood life that remains in the mind of Kunyumol. It can also refer to a to-be-born child of Kunyumol. And then the last question. How does the poem end? Answer. The speaker of the poem wants the one in a tiny frock to come and pull Kunyumol into the rain. Here the speaker feels that there is still a chance for things to be changed. Thus we have finished the discussion of the short answer questions. Now we will discuss the essay questions. Because we include all the paragraph questions within the essay itself, you can see that there are 6 paragraph questions. So let's see how I have included the paragraph question answers within the essay itself. So first we can read the essay question. First question. How does the poem Kitchen Rags portray the condition of women in Kerala? The second question. Attempt a critical appreciation of the poem Kitchen Rags. Now you note the idea which paragraph really corresponds to the questions from the textbook. The second paragraph of the essay is the answer of paragraph question numbers 1 and 2 from the textbook. The third paragraph of the essay is the answer of paragraph question numbers 3 and 4 from the textbook. The fourth paragraph of the essay is the answer of paragraph question numbers 5 and 6 from the textbook. Now let's begin the essay with the introduction paragraph. Poetry often resides in the kitchen. It is in the everyday. Poetry is in the ordinary moments. Vitila Chirapad's poem Kitchen Rags, which means Kaikala Tunigal, captures the harsh reality of a male-dominated society where women are suppressed inside the kitchen and are always ruled upon. She expresses considerable ambivalence to what at first seems comfortable domestic surroundings. While we see a change in the roles a woman plays in a modern society, Vigila's poem reminds us that so many of the old traditions and practices have still not changed. Now we will move on to the second paragraph of the essay. As I said, the second paragraph of the essay is also the answer of paragraph question number 1 and 2. So let's read those paragraph questions. Paragraph question number 1. Describe the gradual transformation of kitchen rags. Paragraph question number 2. What does the rock hard rag represent? The answer. The poem Kitchen Rags is written in the point of view of housewives suffering in the kitchen and their household responsibilities. They have been confined and imprisoned in the kitchen for ages. The poet brings out the plight of women in ordinary homes in India. The poet is not talking just for herself, but for women community in general. A woman's change in life is just as the same as the gradual transformation of a small frock to a kitchen rag. The poet says, wrapped up in grime, kitchen rags never allowed to rinse and dry. The word grime means dirt ingrained on the surface of something. Here the grime is on the kitchen rag, which represents the dull existence of a married woman. It is with the deposition of dirt layer by layer that the rag became rock hard. The rag is placed near the hearth and is always engaged, just as the woman is. The poem is neatly divided into 3 stanzas. The first stanza talks about the present condition of the woman or the kitchen rag. In the second stanza, or we can say a second and a small tail piece, there is a blunting of the sad realities of present and the past. The third stanza look at the future condition, but the condition is not at all that much positive as it looks. There is only a modicum of hope since time has changed all. In a small way, the poem also projects the concepts of everyday resistance. It is a concept introduced by James Scott in 1985 in order to cover a different kind of resistance. Here, the speaker's wish expressed through the poem can be seen as part of this resistance. The poem portrays how women are considered as weak, fragile, and brittle, as they are not expected to revolt or defend a just cause like gender equality in any manner. This highlights the hierarchy of authority prevailing in society, where social expectations often put women in positions of lower level power. Now we will move on to the third paragraph of the essay. The third paragraph of the essay is also the answer of paragraph question number 3 and 4 from the textbook. So let's read those questions. Paragraph question number 3 is, how does the poet describe the bygone days of the rag? Paragraph question number 4, why are the condition of the kitchen rag and a Kunyamol's life placed together? So the answer, kitchens are full of numerous tools and appliances, helping us to do everything from cooking to cleaning dishes. Some of these products and their importance are more obvious than others. But one of the most overlooked aspects in a kitchen is almost always kitchen rags. is just a piece of cloth. In Vichela Cherapar's poem, Kitchen Rags, she has taken this powerful symbol in the kitchen to talk of women in general. Here we can see how the poet describes the bygone days of the rag. So delicate were they in the bygone days, was Kunyumal's frock, and now by the hearth Kunyumal too. Here we see the connotation of the kitchen rag and a Kunyumal's life placed together. The word used by the poet to describe the bygone nature of the rag is delicate. Kunyumal's frock was turned into a kitchen rag when a Kunyumal grew up and could no longer use the frock. Now, Kunyumal is in another kitchen after her marriage. This is the reality of a woman's life. A woman glows like a blazing furnace, works restless and at a great pace in a caged kitchen. In reality, no one in the family visits the kitchen except to eat. And yet, women never express their anguish for not giving due recognition to the work. Patriarchy has turned them fully into a machine. In her world, bodies are soot-coated and reflect the household smells of an impoverished society tottering on the fringes of caste. Here the similarity between a woman bound by her marital kitchen and the perennially soaked household rags is brought out strikingly with a longing for the rains to release her from all such bondage. A woman's life is full of ironies. On one hand, women are considered in the Indian religious scriptures as respectable and worthy of worship. And on the other hand, they are in practice exploited, tortured, and humiliated. Now we will move on to the fourth paragraph of the essay. So as I said, remember the fourth paragraph of the essay is also the answers of paragraph question number 5 and 6 from this textbook. So let's read paragraph question number 5, that is, what happened to Kunyumal's songs? Paragraph question number 6, describe the conclusion of the poem. Answer. The conclusion of Vichela Cherapar's poem, Kitchen Rags, really demands a reader's attention. We have seen all through the poem, the speaker remembers Kunyumal as a girl singing around the kitchen. Now Kunyumal is in another kitchen after her marriage. The speaker of the poem explains here how Kunyumal's singing gradually became a humming and finally became a silence. It shows the stages of a girl's life. She is transformed from her song into a mere humming, which finally will be lost in silence. Humming is when we produce a sweet sound from our mouth in the right musical tone. On the other hand, singing is producing the same or similar sound, but with words. The same way, we see here how the poet draws a parallel between rain and music. Rain originates from the depths of the earth, much in the same way that music is created from the heart of a singer or a composer. Both have rhythm and the power to soothe. Water represents life, being born, purity, cleansing, etc. We refer to water as life or a source of life itself. Thus, in literature, life is formed when rain appears. Gender and caste discrimination should be washed away the same way. Indian women suffer immensely because of the lack of acceptance from the male-dominated society. Women are responsible for bearing children, yet they are malnourished and in poor health. Women are also overworked in the field and complete all of the domestic work. We can also see a Dalit consciousness pervading all through Vigila's poems. Yet Vigila's poetry embodies much more than just her caste identity. She says, I am a Dalit if that is how you choose to see me, and I am not if you think the otherwise. This fluidity of identity is what translates the poem into a broader empathy for all who are downtrodden and oppressed. Poetry is not just a clever use of words, but the life force which sustains Vigila through the ups and downs that life throws at her. Now we will discuss the concluding paragraph of the essay, the last paragraph. It is in the kitchen that we often first hear good news or bad. Kitchens are for every mornings and late nights. And yet, in reality, no one understands the value of a woman or a mother who is fated to live her life inside the walls of a kitchen. She is there in all walks of life. Though a woman or mother is allowed to be the queen of the kitchen, a man's name will always be engraved on the pots and pans to show who really owns. This is the predicament of living in a patriarchal home setting or society. Now we have finished discussing all the questions from the chapter Kitchen Rags, written by Vigila Chirapadu. In the next class, we will meet again with the next chapter.